Well, hello there. Welcome to the Bourbon Battalion. I'm Bobby, and tonight, while we sip and drink and talk, we're gonna talk to Storytime and figure out what's going on with them, what's coming down the road, how things have been so far, and thought it'd be more of like a really nice Q&A session. A lot of times, want to spend some more time just talking about what's going on over there and stuff like that. So, what's up, Kitty? Glad you could jump in here. So I'm waiting for those guys to jump in the background. But in the meantime, what's everybody sipping on tonight? So I am sipping on some Old Scout, just straight bourbon, 5 years aged MGP. So just a nice little warm up. So while we sit here and wait for that, some things going on with the Bourbon Battalion. So I'll be doing stuff on Instagram next week as well. I think Tuesday of next week. I haven't confirmed it yet, but I should be either on mine or on his, getting together with the Hood Sommelier. Really good, really knowledgeable guy. Fun guy too. Jack's a great person over there. So going to spend some time next Tuesday. We think that's the day that we're going to spend some time together on Instagram and just talk about what's going on, right? So Tim Evans, some small batch Taylor. Cheers. Cheers, Doug H. Glad you guys could jump on. And so updates. So I have a rework that I'm doing on the Bourbon Battalion tasting bar. So I have my architect involved, working on that. So what it'll eventually be, right? It's kind of made some twists and turn, and it's going to have a little bit bigger capacity than I originally thought. But yeah, there's some cool stuff in there. And when I get a actual build blueprint finished, because we're making a lot of changes, we'll go with that, and I'll bring it to you guys. What's up, Wes? Nice seeing y'all. I got someone in the background here. So without further ado, let's bring him in. So what's up?
I was fine hanging out in the background.
That's okay. I'm ready to talk story time. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on, and
for sure, some crazy man cleared us out of Rise last night.
I know that the Rise are gone now, right?
Oh yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, so
if you didn't get those, sorry, but still got plenty of bourbon. Well, not plenty. Those are going quick too. Anyway, I digress. There's other things to talk about for sure.
So I think the thing that, if I'm just sitting around doing this and that, I know we've talked about, we've done some sourcing, right? And we have some sourcing stuff coming up. Some of it's going to be, our own label. But, more of the things like down the road, the long-term thought process, because when you hear Storytime Distillery, I instantly start thinking distillery.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to bring a little bit more thought process in to helping people actually see the long-term goal of what that really is going to be.
Okay. Well, I can tell you, so the ultimate vision, right? Let's say 2-3 years from now, if everything goes as planned, we will have a facility somewhere in South Carolina at a minimum that will be a distillery. It'll also probably have a restaurant of sorts, and that restaurant will more than likely be like a brew pub kind of a thing. That'll be kind of the HQ, right, for Storytime.
Sure.
I've got a quote already for all the distilling equipment, so that's already in the works. We're looking at getting that going. That I can actually start now, and we'll probably do that this time next year, and it'll be about a 500-liter system that gets us about 10,000 liters a year if we want to get aggressive. So we want people to come. So in the short term, you said what else do we want to do? Or, besides the barrel picks, besides the private label release that, we've got a couple private labels that are targeted already. We're in talks with a distiller to do some basically contract distilling for us. And then that will go more commercial. Again, the whole premise of the foundation still stays active and alive. So every dollar that we, from the proceeds, 10 cents goes back to the community. That's infinite. That's because the foundation actually has ownership. That's how that's divided up. So we do the commercial side, which is available to everybody, right? It's the stuff that's going to go out on the shelves in your stores. It's, we've got a kind of a target range we're looking at and that whole 9 yards. But we're still going to keep the Authors Guild going. And then that's going to be private releases, special finishes, barrel picks, all of that's still going to go on. And then what we would like to do once we kind of start getting some barrels, because in November I can start buying barrels, and then housing them here and doing finishing and blending here on site. We want to start bringing people here, and doing like a schlammering / blending weekend or tasting weekend or barrel pick weekend, because when I can buy barrels direct like that, then I can actually start offering barrels to other barrel clubs or whiskey clubs, so they can come here and do some tasting, and they want to, bottle it up, and we can do all that stuff. So that's kind of the next phase is that part where we're doing the NDP, the finishing, and then reaching out to the community, having the smaller YouTube channels. Even some of the bigger ones are welcome too, of course. But ideally, we want to reach out and touch all of the community in a way that they get to engage the whiskey process, right? The barreling, the thieving, that whole experience of going through and sampling and saying, okay, yeah, this is what we're looking for, and then kind of achieving that. So it really is all about that kind of involvement and exposure. Then as it migrates into a new facility, then that becomes a more commercialized building, but those private exclusive things still are going on. And then we want to grow from there, right? And then we want to start looking at different regions to put Storytime facilities in. And then also the other side of that is what you're doing, right? So the tasting and the pairing, and that's a big part of what we're focusing on too, because that is a marketing or an outreach. I shouldn't say marketing; it's an outreach tool, right? It's a way that we grow and develop the community. We expand their palates. We don't tell them what's good or bad. That's not the goal.
No.
What we do is we say, okay, this is how, if you want to know how to pick notes out, if you want to understand how you do these things, then this is the steps. And that's what, you're doing. And that's a huge thing too, because what that's going to do, it's going to perpetuate more growth in the community, right? More people are going to want to be drawn in, because now they're going to feel like they understand it. They know more about it. They want to be a bigger part of it. And then we just grow our family. And and then we just see where this thing goes. But that's kind of the long-term vision, if you will. And in the meantime, we're just taking it one day at a time.
Right. I'm gonna add Mr. Wood again.
Oh, Jesus, who let him here?
So no, I tell you, I'm excited not only for being a part of it. I'm excited. Period. I mean, the overall concept and the true mission of it is so enjoyable. It's just the overall thought process and knowing that it's a community driven project with the emphasis on the community. And what's nice is it's looked at it from like a really big perspective of people that are advanced or new people coming into the community that are not. And you have this just open forum of information to help grow the community and whatever level that growth might need. So I dig that completely.
Yeah. It really is critical. I mean, obviously being focused on the community, and everyone can go, oh, well, gosh, there's still money to be made. There's still all of these things. And anytime money enters into the conversation, it gets a little weird, right? Because some people get bizarre. Well, one thing you'll notice about how, and soon we're going to start putting some information out there so everyone can see what's going on. That's the other thing too. We're not hiding what we're doing. We're letting people know where the money's coming from, where, and then when the money is going to the foundation and how, we derive those numbers. And we're going to show all that because I want the whole community to realize that you're buying into this, not just you're buying whiskey. Yes, you're buying the pairing things, but what you're really buying into is a business that then serves its own customers like fluidly, right? So you see it very easily. You see the money come in, you see it go out, and you see, are there business parts that are going to make money? Yes, absolutely. And you're going to see the community benefit from that. And, that's kind of, it's weird because you say that and a lot of people are, I've got a lot of questions about it and, like, oh, well, you guys are just trying to make money or something like that. Well, I can tell you that is not the motivation. And if we let that, now, will that happen? Yes, it will happen naturally. But if that is our focus, if our whole purpose is to say, look, we want to build a business that is going to grow financially and create some wealth, we will fail miserably because that's not what this is about. Anyone can go start a whiskey company. Anybody can go do that. And you go make a quick buck and you can get out. That you can do that. It's very easy to do. What's not easy is to create a system like what we're going to create that continues to perpetuate and grow and perpetuate and grow. And then everyone, instead of the money going outside of that community, it's all staying inside. So you're just going to see this thing get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Now, I agree completely. So, Chris,
what's up?
Is her digits okay?
I don't know yet. I don't know. She's still at the immediate care getting that looked at.
What happened, dude? I didn't hear. You didn't text me.
Her hand when I got home was like twice as big as normal. Like, huge.
Bridget.
And she couldn't move one of her fingers, and there was some bruising around one of her knuckles. So I'm guessing she probably whacked it against the door or the back of her coffee truck.
You told me about this morning. You said her hand. I asked you if you hit it on the nightstand or something.
No,
because I've done that before. I woke up the next morning, my hand was all. I'm like, what the? And I found out.
Yeah, she can't even bend her fingers back to her palm. They get to like there.
Yikes.
So I told her she had to go get it looked at.
Yeah,
so.
For sure.
So that's why I was running behind. Had to get the kiddos all taken care of and all set up. And
no, I had
off some energy so I could come down here.
Sure, and I knew that. I had sent a message to Shane. So.
Well, he invited me on only because you were potentially not going to be here. Let's just.
No, that is not true. I told him I was inviting you.
I didn't get invited to Scotty's last night. I didn't get invited tonight until Chris.
That's not true. I didn't send out the.
I prefer to be in the background anyway. To be honest with you,
you're here. You're here.
In the StreamYard out, Chris. Like just right before I went live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's all good. I'm really not.
I didn't get the StreamYard and watching 6:53, so.
I've been watching iZombie with my wife, and that thing is addictive. So I was like, I got to.
So, Chris, do you have an update for us on membership?
What about membership, my man? What would you like? What would you like?
How many Authors Guild members, and that includes founders, do we have?
I will tell you that in 1 second.
I figured you could figure that out pretty fast.
65.
65. Holy shit.
65.
That's a good start. That's a really good start.
Yeah, it is.
That's under 2 weeks. So.
Yeah. So yeah, honestly, that's just kind of mind blowing. I didn't know what to expect, but I don't think I was expecting that. I really didn't expect the response we've gotten already. It's far exceeded my expectations for sure. So
yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, it gives me motivation. Like, yeah, we're doing the right thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's amazing. And for me, I think it went for being such a new thing real quick. it didn't have really tons of hiccups. You know what I mean? And it got settled out pretty quick.
Yeah. The website stuff, like, look, putting together an e-commerce site has its challenges to begin with. We've had our issues for sure. Quickly responded. I think we've done a good job of getting things up and going. It's only going to get better. And then, one thing you're going to be seeing emails now coming. All the members are going to start getting emails on a semi-regular basis, as well as welcome emails. We've got all the kind of swag stuff is all starting to roll in too. So we'll start putting those kits together and getting those mailed out. So it's coming, and it is coming together quickly, a lot faster than I think most people would expect something like this to happen.
Yeah, and sometimes you get stray text messages that are like really confusing.
Yeah, about using ACH funds versus a credit card versus. I was texting him, Chris. I thought I was texting you.
Oh, well,
I sent a whole string of text to him, and he's like, "Hey, this is Bobby." I'm like, "Oh shit! All right."
Yeah, I'm just going to do a quick promo here. I want to see everybody go smash that like button. I mean, we got 17 people here. We have 5 likes. We got 2 thumbs down. I don't know who you are, but, all those things work in positive favor of the algorithm. So
it is what it is.
Please don't hold it against Bourbon Battalion that he brought Shane on. Hit the like button. Come on.
I will admit I was the first thumbs down. Not going to lie. But
I saw that with your very first comment.
That's right. This stream sucks. Thumbs down. And that was
That's awesome.
I was supposed to be on, by the way.
Yeah, hey, but all kinds of exciting things happening. Like Shane was talking about, swag's been showing up at my house like crazy. That's going to be going out.
You want to show the limited edition coffee mug?
Yeah, that's upstairs. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Sorry, that's upstairs. But yeah, there's all kinds of crazy things going on. I've seen a lot of our stuff in production and behind the scenes, and let me tell you, it's looking pretty awesome, and I can't wait to see everything come together here in the next week as we get it ready to start shipping out to you. Like, it's way too cool. It's fun to watch all this come to life. It's very surreal, but everything keeps on showing up at my door and in my emails and stuff. So it's really
we pick
cool
up bottles tomorrow, right? Or tomorrow, Friday? Friday, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm coordinating that right now. I'm in the middle of that one.
If anybody wants to scan that code. That's a very cool code. Hey, and those hang tags turned out a lot better than what you thought, didn't they?
Yeah, that company saved your butt based on your design you sent me.
Dude, that's the best I could do to line it up.
I know. They saved your butt and it came through. I had both of my guillotine cutters out and ready to go. Wow. I brought them both home from work today because I had both of mine at work.
Hey, Richie Z, Doug H.
Yeah. I was going to put one of the kids to work, not the boys, but
I'm glad you didn't have to. Super glad you didn't have to.
Hey, she's disappointed. I'm going to tell you that. She was excited to get to use the guillotine cutter.
I'm sure.
So while we're talking about it, we're talking about swag and that stuff. What can we expect down the road for swag? Right now we have limited viewing. So without letting what don't need to be out.
With fall and winter approaching, we've got some cool stuff coming. We're going to be seeing some sweatshirts, some ladies and some men's. We got a little jacket in the works that me and Shane have been working on developing. That's going to be great for crossing over 2 niches here.
Mm-hmm,
way. It plays right into Bobby's world. So
big time.
That's all you need to know. But we're working on that. We're going to have some really cool winter swag. I'm I'm throwing it out there. Be on the lookout for the winter hat. I'm really big on the embroidered winter stocking caps.
The
So
beanies.
Yeah.
yeah,
What do they call them?
yeah,
Beanies or toboggans?
Now this will all be found on the Storytime Distillery website, right?
they will. There's some new T-shirt designs that are going to be rolling out next month as well. There's all kinds of fun stuff coming. Some of it just got hung up a little bit with all of this rolling out all at once. Like I said, at first we weren't going to see the bottles until first or second week of September, and then everything jumped up a couple weeks. So
Yeah.
certain things got put on the back burner on my end. I'll take all the blame for that. So
Not at all. They just stepped it up quicker, so no blame needed.
yeah. It just pushed off some of the stuff I was doing because other things needed to be addressed to be able to get the bottles and everything out on time. So that's why some of the swag that's going to be coming, or some of the merch and fun things like that, it's just going to take a little bit longer for additional things to show up in the store. What's in the store now? A lot of it, all of it's actually in production now, and will be here at the end of the week. So everything will roll out as far as that goes with bottles and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yep.
I know
Working.
I know that there's been some questions. I don't know if you've had them. I know just in general, just some basic questions I've had thrown at me is just, they've went through the process. They've done all this. When and how will people be expecting, this and such and so forth? Some people like, when is that going to happen and that stuff? And I was like, I'll talk to these tonight and let you know more.
Yeah, and like with the bottle delivery, I've been waiting to hear when they were going to be available to us, and I didn't find out till about 5:00 tonight. Shane, is when I got a hold of you. That's
Right.
when I stirs heard our delivery is confirmed. So, that means I get to start getting after it and stickering and doing a bunch of other things for the bottles and everything else, packaging. So everything's going to be rolling out. It's going to be a busy weekend.
Yeah, it's
Busy
busy
weekend.
here. Who ordered the first releases? I know I did.
Say that again.
Zach was saying, who ordered the first release? The first releases.
Oh, the bottle pick or barrel pick?
I think he was talking about, just the overall. I think he was just asking in the chat who did or who ordered and all that stuff.
I got.
So, for me, there's one of the dudes.
Yeah.
But I'm beyond excited about it. Obviously, I had no problem, picking up a couple bottles. It's nice to have some in there that I can look at those dudes. What are you guys doing tonight?
Okay, say hi. They couldn't hear you before.
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
What's up?
I got thing 1 and thing 2 here. Here, switch
I
sides.
do this. Okay.
They're sneaking in really quick.
Is that
They're,
Weston or
they're coming to
Princeton?
steal my phone so they can call mom and see how she is.
Want to see something?
No, they don't want to see. They don't want to see your fart tricks.
No, it's my hurt.
Oh, you got a hurt?
Yeah, I got it from school. Hey, can I show you something?
Show them real quick, and then you guys go upstairs with the phone.
But
All right, Stetson's already calling mom. All right,
I
go
can't
take the phone upstairs. Go talk to mom.
Okay.
Oh, what fun.
Those are the boxing elves, so you got to be really nice to them because they're the elves that make all the things happen in the toy shop.
That's right.
Right.
Lots of candy and cookies.
Yes.
Yes. They are.
I'm sure you don't have enough
24/7.
energy as it is. I can tell you that for sure. I would like to tap into that energy supply.
There
Oh,
you go,
you're
pal.
telling me.
What in the heck is this?
Show the screen. There you go. So each bottle's going to get shipped with a tag on it, and on the back's a QR code. That QR code right there. When you click on that QR code, or when you scan it, it's going to take you to a pretty special website.
Nice.
And it's just as it says, tell us your story. So again, one of the things about Storytime really is, the stories are such a big part of what makes this community so great. So we want to start capturing those stories, and we want to, start cataloging them, if you will. And then ones that stick out, we're going to go and do themed picks or themed blends or something like that, and feature, feature the stories from the community so that we keep perpetuating the stories and keep sharing our lives with one another.
Nice.
That's not it. Hang on. Whoops. Then we got that.
So if I should be able to make it.
That's our coffee mug that's coming out. Oh,
hold on. I'm getting there.
What did you did?
You know what?
He's learning how to use StreamYard.
Hey, you know what? You're not wrong.
There's nothing wrong with it. There's lots of new tricks in the backside of StreamYard.
Yeah, they keep adding all kinds of stuff, right? Where did that go? I didn't put it back on the back.
I don't know. What did you do?
You got to go down to the share. Down to the share. Down to the share.
Yeah, you got to click on the little picture.
I am on the little picture.
There it is. So there's the front side of the mug. Oop, oop.
Nice screen.
And there's the back side of the mug.
Nice.
Dear Lord.
Those are very limited editions.
That man's smuggling live turkeys in his pants.
That's right. But yeah, that's a very limited edition swag. We're going to release a very, very small amount, and they won't be for sale necessarily. We might revisit it if a couple people express interest. We might, but
no.
That's a very limited piece. You were talking about swag, so I wanted to show that one too.
Yeah,
I was proud of that. I designed that.
Well, I think it's exciting.
I'm going to enjoy my coffee tomorrow morning in that.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you're going to be drinking it right-handed too. So you get that whole hog right in there.
That's awesome.
I might have to get up extra early and have a cigar with my coffee just to take a picture for my Instagram with the little smoke or steam rising up off the coffee around the cigar with the hammer there. Yeah.
It's not cold enough for that outside, is it?
Our morning, the mornings have been really weird here. Like right now it's ridiculously humid because of all the rain and that storm we got last night. But we've been having some nights where it's been dipping down into the 50s. So you get that dew on the grass. You kind of get, that heat, that condensation. It happens just a little bit.
I literally go usually up to, it's funny when I go to bed, the wife is dressed for winter because I keep it like winter, like very, very winter in my room. So I usually keep it like right around like 59, 60. And she's in there like, ugh, and she's getting dressed to leave, and she walks outside. She's like, I don't need a sweatshirt. She's like, what's it like outside? And I was like, oh, it's hot and miserable. Oh, dude, it's super funny.
Yeah.
So Richie's throwing
lots of fun things coming. And if anybody's got suggestions, we're always listening when it comes to merch.
For sure.
There are some really, really awesome, cool things that I can't even talk about that we've got in the mix. And I will talk about them as soon as we're ready to drop them. There'll be like a little pre-show where we show it off before we drop it because it's going to be pretty sweet. I'm excited about it.
Awesome.
But I'm holding off until it shows up.
I'm excited that you're excited.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really excited. I'm like a kid again with some of this stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's like, I'm sitting there like watching you get excited. I'm thinking like, so my son and his wife are going to find out what they're having for a gender. And then they're going to do a family gender reveal. Ain't no way she's going to be able to keep her mouth shut. No way. She's going to let it slip. She's going to do something. I know it for sure.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, right? You're trying not to reveal your baby, right? Because this is the dream. This is the baby, right? And you want to keep some of that stuff hush hush until it's it's like opening new presents all the time. So
yeah, for sure.
So what's going on with your little pairing boxes? How's that coming? Got any insight?
Yep. I have actually a lot of insight. So we've been we've been beaten. Let me tell you, beaten on this. The reason. So what are we doing, right? So for those that don't know, I'm doing a membership pairing box for cigars and whiskey through Storytime. And that's kind of like my gig with Storytime is not just cigars and whiskey, but the instructional side of it, the overall talking about, everything to do with your tasting notes, how to extend your experience with your cigars, how to extend your experience, bring them together, pair them together, such and foremost. And then the instructional front end side of anything that has to do with, the distillate, whiskey, cigars, or anything going on. I have been a technical trainer for most of my life and just getting into the overall instructional side of teaching and helping someone have a better experience. So in doing so, me and the Gunny have been diligently smoking an insane amount of cigars and drinking whiskey. I would be.
You guys been hotboxing like 3 a night, haven't you?
Sometimes more.
Oh my gosh!
We have went through in a month, probably 160 plus cigars.
Wow,
easily.
I'm impressed.
Easily, and and I sound a certain way because it's like, hey, so what we're doing is really cool. No, but so we've been really taking it from a whole lot of different standpoints to trying to bring the best experiences with a thought process behind them. And so what that is I want to be able to have this thought that comes out, and I think as it might advance differently down the road, but in the beginning stages, it's going to come as a box that's going to be something that someone could find easily, either way, that are going to be really good pairing notes. And if you're advanced, it's okay. You can come back to something because these are all going to be really good pairing. There may be down the road an example of where you might have an experienced cigar smoker and not an experienced whiskey drinker, and vice versa. And then also, really, really, when you're talking about whiskey, I usually think of like bottom shelf, mid shelf, top shelf. And in cigars, I think more of like a beginner, advanced, and maybe more of what you would have as an aficionado, right? Somebody that really is comfortable and knows their stuff. And then how do we pair those, right? And what are the thoughts and notes? So what it'll be each box will come with a whiskey and a cigar. And then what there'll be is there'll be notes on both, on the notes of the cigar, notes on the whiskey, and the notes of them together, and a thought process towards it, along with I'm pretty sure what it'll be. There'll be like some kind of link or something. We're still kind of ironing out some of the stuff where every so often we'll be able to get together where we'll go through the box and I'll talk about it and you can jump on a stream. It'll be a stream through Storytime somewhere, somehow, I think, or Bourbon Time, however we work that out. There's still that part's to be determined. And but really, this is something that I love, but it's something that it's a part of the story, right? And that story gets to be longer when you have the marrying of a cigar and a whiskey. So now that 2.5 hour story is now advanced into a 4-hour story. And we all know the longer the time to spend together, the more people open up and the stories get better. So for me, when I think of story time and what I bring to the table, that's what it is for me. But I would say right now, we actually have notes and notes and notes. We're whittling down to exactly which ones we want to be the first 6 memberships. So that's where we're at right now. Some are advanced and some are not, but the thought process is remain the same, that this is why you might have this and this is why you might have this. And there's so many things that you could be on this. So we're really just carving it out. And my brother who writes, he'll be writing it up. We have our notes, he does it, and he'll do the fancy wordmanship. So it will most likely sound very, very profound and smart and a little bit of Marine Corps, because ye who she see the president's greetings, know ye didn't get. That's the kind of stuff my brother does. So, but really excited about it. I am I'm so excited. You have no idea. First of all, dude, how much time I've spent with my brother doing this, and the enjoyment has been so fun. But I hope that that's what we give to the community is they can sit down, learn something, advance their palate, and find, just a better time.
So would you say this first 6 are like the introduction to cigar and whiskey pairing?
Yes.
And then that's something that you can revisit at any time, go
Yep.
back and essentially it's like a 6-course type of a thing, maybe? Is that what?
Yeah. So what it's going to be in the beginning, right? So me and Steve bumped this around a long time. We thought that there should be 3 of them that, let's say you start with, you have 3 people, or the first 3 are going to be very whiskey focused with a cigar, and the other one's going to be cigar focused with a whiskey. Because you're going to have a cigar person that might not have whiskey, and you're going to have whiskey people that might not know cigar. So our focus was, when we brought it down, we was like, okay, we need to introduce this as this. The first 3 are going to be a whiskey lover pairing cigars. The next 3 will be cigar lovers pairing whiskey. And we're going to do a easy find. So from the whiskey side, it'll be a top, mid, low, right? All good, but finding cigars that you can pair with those, and then just flip it on the other side. You're going to find them down in the next one. You're going to have really, really top-notch cigars and whiskeys to pair with it, right?
So when you're saying, say, top, mid, low, or whatever, are you talking what in that definition? What categorizes those things as top, mid, low? Is it like public price and perception, or is it going to be like palate? Complexity of palate, or? So
what we considered when we went through it, right, is a general consensus of good and price.
Okay.
Right. So when you sit there and think of like a mid shelf, when you're talking like mid shelf to top, that range is like, we tried to narrow it down to something that made sense, because there's a lot in this category that would be mid shelf. So anything what we consider to be top shelf is something that's very good, and it's a $60 or more. Now, so that doesn't mean that it has to be, a $250 bottle of Buckner's or something like that. It's not that. There's a lot of really good stuff, but when you start talking about more than $60 a bottle, you take a second thought. Well, do I want to spend $60, or can I get 3 of these $20 that are really good?
Right.
So we were looking at a price point and valued spirit.
Okay.
So, I know that one of my ones that we teetered with on the mid to top and all that stuff is just simply something like Old Forester 1910, right? It's a good product for what it is. It's a really good cigar drinker for what it is and why it is. But there's also other ones out there. So we have a whole bunch of them. I think overall we've been through, hold on, let me look. I know cigar wise, we've been through 40 brands. Whiskey's right in the same ballpark.
Right. Okay.
We've been right in the same ballpark.
So you said 3 whiskey lover paired to cigar and 3 cigar lover paired to whiskey. Are those going to be coming out concurrently? So if someone is a cigar lover, they can get one of the cigar packs first and go that route, and then migrate over to the whiskey, or you're going to start everybody at the whiskey lover level, so to speak?
I would. Well, since we're a whiskey community, it made the most sense to me to start out with a single box.
Okay.
A single box. This is, introducing cigars for the whiskey lover.
Okay. So
and
we were talking, I think we were talking, was it 2 cigars in a box?
It's going to be 2 cigars.
Uh-huh.
And a 2 ounce, I think a 2 ounce sample. Did we say a 2 ounce of whiskey?
We thought at one time
we're going to do 2 ounces and
I think you should do 2 ounces. But so maybe you split it, right? And you start it at novice level, cigar leaner and a whiskey leaner. That goes in one box. And then the next box, and we could label it that way for the
we can figure that out, right? Everything I'm doing right now is just notes and thoughts. Because ultimately, this is a collective story time thought. It's going to roll out based on what we what we all agree on, right?
For sure.
I'm just putting pairings together and thoughts towards, if I was a whiskey guy, like, and Steve first, when the Gunny first got into cigars again, had never had a cigar with whiskey.
Yeah.
He was a cigar lover.
I'm literally just asking for purposes of people in the chat and whoever would watch this,
right.
Again, so they understand what it is that you're targeting, how you're going to present them this
yeah.
This
and there'll be more to come on it as we iron out some of those kinks. The biggest part of it right now is putting together the overall blending, right? You're blending cigar smoke and whiskey, blending this thought process towards enhancement, right? Is better experience. So
I have a question. I'm asking once again, like just like Shane did, like I'm part of the crowd here. So what are possibly some of the brands of cigars we might be seeing along the way here?
Well, without getting into the incredible descriptive, but you're definitely going to see Romeo Julietas. You're definitely going to see Ashtons. You're definitely going to see AJ Fernandez Nicaraguans. You're going to see AJ Fernandez pop up quite a few times, and there's a reason for that. But New World definitely will be in the mix. There will be what's the name of the cigar? My Father's will be in the mix. There's I don't have my list of friends, but it's going to be quite extensive, and they're going to go from really, really rich coffee bean oily extract all the way down to a really, really nice, subtle, smooth, creamy vanilla. And what you might be surprised, especially if you don't dabble in the cigar world, cigars have very similar tastes and notes that you find in whiskey. So it's really, I think people might be overly shocked to find out that there's a lot of these notes that they might know from whiskey, or if they're a cigar guy that might blend over to the whiskey. I don't think people always understand that they both have a lot of single stuff that makes sense when you start talking wrappers. But yeah, there's going to be, obviously when you're talking about the new side, you're going to start on a more of a Connecticut leaf wrapper, a white wrapper, even maybe. I don't have a Blanca right now. I haven't really went that light. I could, but I think Connecticut leaf is enough. And the thing that will also change, when you're talking about entry level cigars, you're going to have to go through and spend some time with ring gauge, right? We don't want to put someone that's a new cigar smoker on a big ring gauge. That's a lot of smoke, and you don't need that. You don't need that when you start.
You don't need 70 ring gauge?
What's that?
You don't need a 70 ring gauge to start?
No. You don't need a Gorda. That's for sure. Yeah. So Richie says, do you have a Battalion Patreon yet? Yes, I have Patreon page. I think I do have Patreon.
Sorry, guys.
I had the link in there somewhere, but I think I need it at one time for something. But no, I think the one thing is that we will have to iron out some of the nuances.
For sure.
But there's so many of them. Like the very first time we really sat down after we had about the first 20 pairings underway, we went and looked at them and was like, man, we could put this as 4 different subscriptions. And you're like, so there was so many different thought processes for the novice, the experience.
Yeah.
There's just so many different.
Well, I think there's definitely a need and a niche to fill in this community, from a educational piece, which is what you're starting off with, to a more developed piece where, okay, now we're going to take you on a different journey and kind of really expand your palette to, hey, here's what's kind of out there. Like, here's some new stuff coming out. These are some new unique pairings that we've discovered. And that would be kind of like the ongoing thing that people be interested in for sure. Different, whether we get our hands on some unique whiskeys and unique cigars and things like that. And that, again, I could see that being more advanced. But I mean, is there any truth to the rumor that Storytime is trying to partner with maybe some various cigar organizations so we can provide some product to the community as well?
There's some stuff in the works.
Okay.
There is stuff in the works.
Good.
Until it's done, I won't say anything, but there are stuff in the works.
Excellent. So can you say, since there's stuff in the works, what kind of, like, I know you can't say what the stuff is, but what would that do for the community, do you think? How do you,
I mean, it's incredible, because when you do that, then you start getting into the same thing that we're experiencing in the whiskey world, right? You're taking traditional whiskey, and you're finding that you're able to add a different filler, which would be blending. You might be mixing blends, mixing wrappers. Same thing you're doing with the regular whiskey world right now. What's big now? Craft. And why is craft big? Because they're able to do different things. Even though they're still throwing out a whiskey or a bourbon, they give the availability to be a little bit different. So how they're going about that is the same thing happening in the cigar world. There's a lot of stuff going on in the cigar world that's very similar, and it's changing the thought process. You know, there's people out there that are putting out stuff that are not common knowledge, that are amazing. And if you didn't know about it, you wouldn't know about it. So, you know, there's plenty of people walking into a liquor store that have no idea, well, that's not Beam, or that's not Jack. I ain't buying that. You know, and I had someone ask me yesterday, hey, my husband really likes Angel's Envy bourbon, and it's really hard to find that. Is there anything comparable? And I was like, oh yeah, Woodinville port. I said, it is a port finish. And he's like, well, what does that mean? So then I literally sat and talked to her about what it is and why it is, and why these, you know, you want to look for something in that proof range that's a whiskey bourbon that is port finished, and these are why, right? Same kind of thing going on in the cigar world. There's some really, really cool things going on in the cigar world.
Excellent. Well, that's exciting. So you alluded to some videos or maybe some live streams. So do I understand correctly, when people get their box, then say, I assume there's probably some logistics there that have to be met, but people order the box, and then you're going to post a live stream to go through the box with them, and then people that can't make the live stream can come back and, I guess, watch.
So what I will do is it won't necessarily be a live stream. So
Okay.
it will be a premiere.
Okay.
I will record the video. I will have it all done, and then what will happen is I will premiere it.
Okay.
Now I will be live in the chat, but I won't be live on the stream to talk, because it's a premiere. And I want to focus a lot more on letting that be the thing. And then if there's questions in the chat, then I can interact in the chat and not have to look at the screen. So I'm going to go more towards a premiere than I am a chat, and that'll be straight through YouTube.
That's fantastic.
I think it gives a better opportunity to be engaged.
Yep.
If it's done that way. So you can do a lot more with that. So, and it's something that, you know, there'll be a premiere, and what I would expect to do once we figured out that the shipments are launching on a certain date, if it's the certain date of each month, then I would say the halfway point between each shipping is when that premiere would be. So that gives them enough time for everybody to have it and do whatever. And then, you know, there'll be a premiere. Pretty good chance on the premiere. It will be, you know, like it is normal. Me and the Gunny will be actually doing the cigars and all that stuff. I've got the go ahead for doing that down here with Mama. I had to buy something to like take some stuff out of the air, but
Nice.
she's like, hey, you know what? Yeah, she's on board with it. So someone asked earlier what I was drinking tonight. I am drinking a 5-year MGP Old Scout, 116.2.
Nice. What's Shane drinking?
I ain't drinking anything right now, but I did get this in today.
Oh, nice.
I had the Warehouse I that I got last week from my buddy Greg McDonald, and then he says, "Hey, they've got some of these, which are Warehouse H on whatever, some barrel. What's it called? Bottle Republic out of New Jersey."
Yeah, I'll be going over and picking up. I'll be picking up the brand new Bookers in the morning.
Gross. Why?
Ooh, the tag along.
No.
The newest one.
Yeah, is that the
Tag
newest
along.
one? There's 3 out now.
Three's dropping tomorrow here.
Okay.
Oh, 3 is already?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's it
My
called?
liquor store called me today.
What's it called? Is this the new liquor store? The guy that was like your buddy now?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Called me. I didn't think he would actually call, but he did. Send me a message. Hey,
hopefully he calls you on September 2nd.
well, I'll tell you what. He'll call me when stuff happens. He is so far.
So you are going to hook us up with the good stuff? Is that what I heard?
If I can.
That's what I heard. Isn't that what you heard, Chris?
Anything I can get.
All right. I mean, I might give, if this is a good Booker's, I might give it a shot, but they've got the two I have.
Now, you know what? I'll tell you what. What I'll do is like next week, I have me and the Gunny like probably 5-hour marathon of doing nothing but bottle fills because I have my bottles came in, so I have to now do all of my Booker's fills that go out. So I have 60 bottles, 60 samples to do and get labeled and put out and that stuff. So next week is the magical week to get all that done and sent out. I will put some samples aside and send you some to let you know that it is not. The two you have scored in the very bottoms of what I have. What? That almost.
That?
Wow. What was that?
That was America.
Oh, you cracked the Forester?
Yeah.
Dang.
Bro.
No, well, I'm excited about story time. I'm excited about, like you said, let's hear it.
You hear that glug? Oh,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever bought a glug jug?
No.
They make glug jugs, right?
No.
Yeah. So one of the things we'll have to invest in when we have the bar and that stuff. There's nothing better than a water glug jug. They're the best. They literally look like
right?
The ones that I've seen look like these fish. It's like the fish, and you go like this, and no matter what you do, it goes. Glug, glug, glug. It don't matter how much is in it, it glugs. It's the best.
God.
How's that nose, Schlong?
Dude.
Was I right?
Oh man, that's good.
Oh.
I mean, it's definitely got some ethanol, but once you cut through that, and you get some real like cherry vanilla going in there. Oh man, that's good.
Alex is like, someone needs to get some Old Forester, buddy. We can get Old Forester all day long here. So all you gotta do is let me know.
These are pretty special. These single barrel.
Yeah.
Damn it.
I see it.
And this it's Warehouse H, which is apparently one of the better ones or something. I don't know. It's a rumor.
Tell everybody that.
And I have that I might have to get that in a minute and do a little side by side. But I got another one of these for a buddy of mine, but this one's not open, see?
Hey, so 930 Laurel Avenue.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm supposed to be getting, a Remus 5, if I remember right.
Yeah, that's upstairs. I sent you the picture of it.
And then this is probably going to go in the box with that.
Jeez.
Gonna get it.
Since that person left it at my house. And then since we decided to, send this to another location, I got to get that out too.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to the big man himself. I don't think he's in chat, so don't anybody tell him, but that's going to Busey.
Nice. Yeah, he's not in there. Yeah, we run into the Remus here as well. So, I mean, what we do get, we get plenty of. It's just, there's just a lot of stuff a lot of craft stuff we really miss out on here. That I would say that was probably the bigger pain in the butt for me is that in Ohio.
You don't even get craft stuff from your own state.
Now, it's really, really hard, and I don't know what they've done. There has to be something more to it. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what the gist is or the feud between the Ohio Liquor Control and Horse Soldier, but it doesn't make sense to me because, like you look at Magnolia I can buy that on the shelves. And there's plenty of people that I have that have it. Why you can't find a Horse Soldier in Ohio and it's made in Columbus.
Right.
Is it distilled there or is it just like blended?
No, it's distilled in Columbus, Ohio.
Well, that's
There-
probably the difference because Magnolia
Some
is
some of
very
some of it's blended.
Yeah,
Some of it's
some
not
of
made there.
Some of it is.
Some of it's made in Florida.
Yeah. And you can always
Some of it comes from Kentucky and Florida.
hold on. Clint just said you can get horse soldier now in Ohio. I have never seen it in Ohio. Did it just drop in the last month? If so, then yes.
That's not a tough decision at all, Alex. Not at all.
Yeah. So Richie put in here. Does anybody see the new Wild Turkey Masters Keep 1? Daniel Haston got a Masters Keep today that was a red box, and I think that must be the new one because it wasn't the burgundy one. This is red, so I wonder if that's the newest one because I don't remember.
I thought it was a dark box, Bobby.
I'm not for sure. I know that Daniel got a red one today, so I just assumed, but maybe not. I have not seen any of the new Master Keeps yet, but I won't see that in this area. I'd have to actually go somewhere. Alex, that's pretty easy. I don't know why that's a tough decision.
I think even Bobby would drain pour his Bookers and
I wouldn't drain pour it. There's no way I'm drain pouring a Booker's.
bottle chug it.
Yeah, only if you want to die. Because there ain't nothing. No Booker's is less than a certain proof. They're always. Yeah.
This is the H one, Greg. The one I just got. Greg ordered it too.
Nice.
This
So
one drinks
how
a
is
lot
it?
hotter than the other one, though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But it's got the flavor richness on it is pretty deep.
Nice.
A lot
I
going
will
on.
keep my eyes out for it. I know that me and the wife are going to in September, like the middle of the month in September, we're going to Kentucky. So she's going down to the Bourbon Festival with me.
So tell us about the status on your bourbon steward or whatever's going on with that thing.
Well, it's in phases, right? So the next one would be to go through and get the executive level. So that just takes time. That it's
But you're a bourbon steward now, though, right?
steward. Yeah,
Yes.
steward.
And then you're going to become an executive steward.
Yes, executive steward. And then once you get that, but you have to go down to Kentucky to do that. There's a little bit more. It's a little bit more advanced. So yeah, you go through.
You have to drink things other than bourbon.
Not on the first phase. The second phase, I don't know. The first one is that you have to know the differences. You get tested on the differences and what makes them what, and you have to know all the classifications for all of them. So you have to go through and do that. I think there's a couple people doing it. I've seen a couple other people. I think the likes are doing it. I saw them with a book posting something. I think it was Facebook or something, but yeah. So there's processes that you go through, and it's just the idea that you want to have some kind of accreditation towards the idea that you're talking about something and someone's paying you or actually coming to you to do this.
Right.
So I have events where people have me come and actually walk through some of this stuff, and you're not going to do it because, well, hey, I just like it and it's good and I know things. So if that's the case, I would be I don't know, a rocket scientist or something because, hey, I kind of know things. So you have to be certified. So
No, the rocket scientist is to the right of you on my screen.
yeah. He's a something. So
Definitely something.
well,
I'm a red rocket scientist.
not wrong. All right. Well, I know that it's 9 o'clock. I've literally been trying to keep these at the hour mark, not going past them for a reason. I just had so much content in the past that was really long, and I want to kind of get away from that. So excited about story time. I'm excited what you guys are doing. I love your heart. I love your friendship. I love my brothers. There's nothing about it I'm not excited about. Thanks for jumping on and helping with questions and answers, because I know a lot of people have them. And whether they're on here right now or not, they're going to see it down the road, And especially if you keep your viewing time to a little bit less, they watch a lot more. But
For sure. I've done the same thing on my stream.
well, and not only that,
Tomorrow might be a little longer though. It's
yeah,
gonna be crazy.
but when you run into some of these nights, you have these long nights, and you wake up the next morning. I usually feel great the next morning. I just have to come down here and see what the damage is. I just don't always know. And I'll walk down and I'll be like, oh no, what did I do?
So, last night was pretty awesome.
last night was one of those nights.
I know it
It
was.
was a night.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
It was fantastic.
we got some great shirt design ideas out of it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, wow. Now, was that after I dropped?
No.
Oh no.
They came out in the middle of the stream. I think we're quite obvious where we were going with it.
And the plane.
That's right.
And the plane. That was actually funny.
Damn plane.
That was super funny though.
Yeah.
Dude, I already started the sketch for it, so sorry. You're getting an illustrated shirt on the level of the F Your Train shirt, buddy.
Yeah, that was super funny.
Thanks everybody for tuning in, and all of you that are part of Storytime, can't thank you enough. Be looking in your email box. You're going to be getting, hopefully not spam, but you're going to be getting a lot of stuff from us hopefully over the next couple weeks as we kind of get.
There's a grouping that's going to be coming that is going to explain a lot of stuff, as well as the welcome email, and they will be spread out. I will not be spamming you. I promise you that.
Thank you.
You will not get 6 or 8 emails a day. You will not get 8 emails a week. So
Right.
we will keep you up to date, so you don't have to run to social media to find out what's going on.
Right.
But we like the likes on social media and the interactions. Keep on pumping that algorithm for us.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
All right,
All
guys.
right.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you, Bobby. Thanks for having us again.
guys.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me on, Bobby.
Yep. Anytime. All right, everybody, be good to those that are good to you, and take care of the loved ones, and be safe. We're in some crazy times. So
Cheers.
until next time, cheers.